Okay, welcome back. So the boys are going to the kitchen to see if they can get something to eat. Ralph watched the boys leave before he carefully polished every millimeter of his beautiful new sports car. When he pushed his nest together for a nap while waiting for night to come, his day had been exciting, exhausting, and satisfying. Because of him, two boys had become good friends. Ralph felt that he had done a good deed in a troubled world. Ralph awoke much later when the clock began to grind and groan, and slowly, as if in pain, strike 11, which was the safe hour for mice to appear. Ralph was enjoying a good stretch when he saw 5 of his relatives peering in at him. "He's back," said one. "And he's got a car," said another. "A sports car," said a third. Instantly there was a clamor and confusion. "Give me a ride!" "Me first!" "Stop shoving!" "I should go first because I'm oldest!" "Hey, get off my foot!" But instead of getting excited or angry, Ralph stood calmly beside his car and looked at his relatives without speaking. Gradually the mice grew quiet. "That's better," said Ralph. "I can't hear anyone if you all speak at once." The mice were silent, listening away. Room 5 had grown quiet and listened to Miss K. "Look, fellows," said Ralph. "If you get in line, you can take turns. That way, you can each have a ride." "Good idea," murmured the mice, who had never before thought of such a thing. Ralph was pleased with himself for putting his education to use. He climbed into his car and drove it out from under the clock. "My oldest cousin first," he directed. His relative climbed into the passenger seat and pulled his tail in after him. "That's the way," said Ralph with approval. "Now take a deep breath and we'll both go vroom." Vroom. Together the cousins vroomed around the lobby, down the long hall and back, faster than Ralph could have driven alone. "Next," said Ralph, when he had returned his passenger. "And by the way," he said to his relatives, as his next cousin in line climbed into the car, "in school, the kids learn things by grades. So older human children learn harder things than younger human children." The mice called out at once. "Oh, like riding in sports cars is for older mice," one cousin said. "It's too dangerous for the little ones." "We won't even tell our little relatives about it," said another. "Yeah, we can't have them messing up the lobby," said a third. "Yeah, we'll keep it a secret," said a fourth. "Good thinking," complimented Ralph. As he and his cousins sped down the hall, Ralph was happy. He felt proud because he had helped Miss K educate her class. But he was humble enough to admit that he had learned from the children too, even though he never did find out where Miss Heidi Kuchenbacher kept her toothpaste. He guessed it didn't really matter. And that's the end of the story. But there is an epilogue, which is a little extra tag to tell what happens after the main story. When Brad's father came to the Mountain View Inn in his tow truck to take Brad home, he met Ryan's mother. 6 months later, they were married, and Ryan and Brad became stepbrothers. They all lived in a house in Cucaracha, California. Ryan was pleased to have a father, and Brad was happy to have a mother. And most of the time, the boys were glad to be brothers. And Ralph? The boys decided that the dog Arfie might take an interest in a mouse, for the wrong reason. So Ralph remained at the inn, where he rides around every night in his sports car, generously giving rides to his relatives and enjoying their company now that they have benefited from his education. He is strict about one thing, however. Ralph is the only driver, the only mouse who sits in that driver's seat of the Laser XL7. And that is truly the end. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you big first graders have a wonderful summer. Stay cool. Stay safe.